that was filed by,
Say it.
the mayor.
It was a landfill.
Well, that's the fun part, because he twice was quoted as saying he knew it was a landfill. He's always known it was a landfill. The problem was when the village sold us the land, it was not disclosed in the paperwork for the sale of the property, which it should have been. So at this point, our lawyer has said, you might as well let them come down and dig, and whatever they find is gonna become the mayor's problem. So. We may
And I
be
can
moving the
assure
pool to
everyone
another location. I
that the
don't know.
village already did test on everything down there, which we have records of, because they put 2 wells down there. They have 2 wells. And when they dug those wells, they tested all of that. And we have those records. We also had to do our own tests, and these are drillings that are done. We know exactly what's in that ground, and everything that came out of there, all that came out of the ground when the pool was built, was the cement and re-rod that was buried there from the old academy that was up on the cow. That's the extent of any landfill in regards to that property. So,
Where'd all the dump debris go?
that's out in the back. That's not where the pool is. There's never been a dump where that pool is, other than that particular fill. That's it. So,
So that's an FYI, we'll see where it goes. But,
I
if
mean,
you
if they
see
want,
vehicles
all they
down
need to
there-
do is come and see us and, or go see the village, pull the records. Dave Curley gave them all to us. It's
Yeah, I
all been
don't-
noted. So
I
if
don't
they
know
wanna
what
waste
the
time and do
we
it
can't
again,
do.
Those records here?
yes, everything's
Okay,
in.
they should be here.
I don't know. Some things I can't explain. Whatever.
So what you're saying, that dump was, in a flood zone? Cause that river's right there, isn't it?
Yeah, probably where the original dump was. Of course, then
So
again,
it's
on
not
the old flood
classified
maps, it
back
may not
then?
have showed up. The flood maps change every time the wind blows.
Yeah, it probably wasn't in a flood zone to begin with.
At that point, they
Nothing,
had
there's a lot
berms.
of things that weren't in a flood zone until they decided they needed more money to run the flood program, insurance program. That's how a lot of things ended up back in the flood program.
And they let New York City redraw the maps.
And they did it by flying over. They didn't even, half of them aren't even actual elevation.
And I've been at meetings and argued with them where we had buildings built and we knew what the flood elevation was. We elevated the floor of the building 2 feet above flood level because they had equipment in there that did not wanna get wet. Went to the meetings, showed them pictures from floods where it's a high, dry island, and they're like, well, it's nice you know that, but we're not changing anything. They don't care. It's like, oh, they need flood insurance. Well, they did all this work so they didn't need flood insurance, and it was fine for 10 years. Then all of a sudden now they gotta have flood insurance. Like I said, they all want us to leave. That's kind of what it amounts to. Alright, any other new business? Did I jump over any other ones? I think we're good. Committee reports, highway and machinery. Darren.
Well, the big thing is we finally have that on-site analysis scheduled for those 2 failing culverts, Federal Hill 2
Federal Hill 2
and Webster Brook.
Webster Brook.
This whole thing started with the Federal Hill 2, and this has been going on 3+ years now.
Cause we were working with, what was it, Soil and Water or somebody?
Yeah, it started out with DEC and of course the Army Corps, which you have to go through to get a permit. Soil and Water has got involved. Trout Unlimited is actually been an
Pushing
extreme
force
help.
behind it,
Yeah.
yeah.
The Webster Brook project and the severity of it has surpassed Federal Hill 2 by far at this point. That's more of a priority. But being that the Federal Hill 2 culvert started this, all it is still on that. Wherever this may go, the on-site analysis is gonna be a bigger step in the right direction as far as getting some funding. certainly will not cover them all, but it's gonna be more of a matching type.
And it'll take years.
Yes, and I don't, that's the problem, I don't think these projects are gonna make it as long, we'll know better in the future here, but Webster Brook probably is not going to, it's gonna have to be done within the next year or probably.
Sooner.
That's a lot bigger culvert than the one on Federal Hill too, isn't it?
It's an 8-foot culvert, but,
You see,
to file for a permit, they don't have to have a hydraulic study and everything else. So that 8-foot culvert isn't necessarily gonna be sufficient for what today's standards say it should be. And that's where we're gonna have more problems. That's why this is gonna help us if things actually get started in the right direction.
Do you think that we could conceivably end up having to do like a box culvert up there?
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's what they're gonna recommend and enforce to go in.
Most likely.
A 3-sided structure is probably what they're gonna look for, which is just shy of a bridge.
Related note, since we're on highway, I finally got an email. Our grant disbursement request has been audited and approved, and they're cutting the check for the $75,000 for the dump truck grant on the 17th of this month. So, they didn't lie to me, they said it would take about 6 weeks, and that'll be just about exactly 6 weeks.
Take the for sale sign back out of the window.
That only took, what, 4 years, 3 years, I don't know, I lose track of time, took way too long. But we do have money coming finally. So you got the rest of your stuff listed here. Anybody have any questions on Darren's report?
We're basically done with oil and stone.
Unfortunately, too late. The way the weather was early in the year, we didn't get done as scheduled. And now it's a quality control issue, we gotta do it at this point. It's not worth it.
Yeah, there's not enough time, you'd just end up plowing it back off, wouldn't you?
And like I said, being a quality control issue, they probably won't cover it at this point, if that does happen.
On another front with the highway garage, I've got a letter here I wanted to read. It was sent to me and the board. Brian Rosenthal would like to inform you of my retirement effective November 1st of 2019. I'm glad to have had the opportunity to serve the town of Delhi and its residents for the past 30 years. In those 30 years, I've had the privilege to have been appointed highway superintendent as well as deputy highway superintendent. I've also had the opportunity to work closely with federal and state agencies during the time of disasters such as the floods of '96 and 2006 to ensure that the town received its proper reimbursements. I've also talked to Highway Superintendent Darren Evans about working part-time to help with the transition of clerical duties into the next year. Again, I wish to thank you for the opportunity I've had to serve the town of Delhi and its residents. Respectfully, Brian Rosenthal. So, I definitely want to thank Brian for 30 years of dedicated work with the highway crew, and he will be missed. Anyway, anything else for highway? Okay. Health and youth. Billy or Janet, you have anything? Billy, you got anything?
Just another, one last reminder for people about the Citizens Preparedness Course tomorrow night at Delaware Academy. Still time to sign up tonight. At this point, I think we've made enough progress that they're not going to cancel it, but I won't know that for sure until tomorrow morning. Excuse me, it's Thursday night, not tomorrow night.
Yeah.
They emailed me last week and the attendance numbers weren't good. But,
Just seems to be a problem to get people to pre-register. I don't know. I don't know if they would get a better turnout if they just opened it up and let people show up, or, I don't know.
well, there's a lot of factors.
Yeah.
There's open house tomorrow night for 3rd to 5th grade, there's sporting events. It doesn't really matter what night you pick, there's always going to be conflicts.
Yeah, it's a busy time of year, there's no doubt about that. Economic development and shared services, anything to report?
Matt, you-
We received, this is the project we're doing with the village, the housing
Housing
study.
study?
So I think there's 9 proposals submitted from consultants.
Okay.
So the first round, nobody submitted one.
We got nobody, now we got 9.
Nine,
Must be,
yeah.
business is slowing down, must be.
So those will be reviewed and somebody will be selected before our next meeting.
Recreation Committee,
in your package, you have the year-end summer report. I see Peg's here tonight, our new chairman for the PAC committee. A lot of work happened down there, maybe you can fill us in a little bit on all the closing and things that happened today down there?
Watson came from Buffalo today, and did the job from 10:30 to 6. And they did all the winterizing of the piping and the pump room and put on they had to do a certain amount of draining. We did vacuum again, drained the little pool, flushed the pipes and then filled it up a little bit. And, I took pictures of it, it looks good. We cleaned out the shed, got that all organized. There are a few things that will need tending to, perhaps locks, if I'm not mistaken, shed locks, sensors in one of the bathrooms. And, I did wanna ask the board and then, maybe with Janet and Al being part of recreation, the wire framing that's behind the brick building, we were wondering if that would be able to be removed.
I believe, are you talking about the old,
Tent that.
tent? Yeah, Darren,
Destroyed.
didn't Will talk to you
Yeah,
about that?
Will gave me a call on it.
Yeah, I think that Darren was gonna see about getting that out of there.
Oh, good.
that
Thank
right?
you.
I told
Okay.
him when we could get down there for everybody to go to the landfill.
Okay.
The,
You know what it is, right? It's just a
It's an
little,
old pop-up.
yeah, it's not much to it.
we wanted to know, and bring it up with the board, possibly, I brought a picture of the old vacuum, if it can be surplused. It has no value, that's my opinion. It's very difficult to use it in the newer pool. It came from the village pool, and, it's really, it turns itself over, and it's not functioning very well. I'm not a good one to relay that as much as maybe one of the men or John who's tried to use it. But I know that we can't just take it to the dump, we need to ask your permission.
it's a pool vacuum
Vacuum.
that was given to us from the village.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually I was watching John on the camera for a little bit while he was trying to use that vacuum. And it did look like it was kind of a hassle to use,
Yeah.
the way it is. But I think it's one of those things that, if we'll have to look at pricing and so on, obviously, for a new one. And I think we could talk about that at our next PAC meeting and figure out where to go with that.
Mm-hmm.
But, as far as getting rid of the old one, that's something else, we'll just have to figure out the best way to handle that.
Okay.
I don't believe the town board would have a issue with, if it works and somebody could use it, that kind of thing, but we could discuss it and then come up with a plan.
Mm-hmm. I just knew we couldn't just put it back and put it in the back of some truck and take to the dump. I knew we had an obligation
Yeah,
to bring it to you.
that's fine.
And then, there's, the winterizing of the bathrooms is going to take place real soon, the filters are gonna be cleaned. The items that need to be stored in a warm place will be in the pump room. It's looking pretty good, the cover is being evaluated now to be sure that it is, well, it came with some holes in it. So, we took pictures of that and Watson is right on it, so.
Okay. Well, I'd like to just, on the town board, I'd like to thank the committee and all those people that were down there today and attended all that training and all that work and got this whole thing pulled together, so it's great.
So who's gonna unwinterize it in the spring? We got people trained?
Was Watson, we gotta discuss that.
Yeah.
We do have somebody in mind that can handle that kind of thing,
Opening is far easier than closing.
so, yeah. And that's already down, how to do it and all of that anyway, so.
I guess I should add that one of the things that we wanted Watson to do that was important as far as warranty or whatever, is that they did a cleaning around the entire main pool. So they did that obligation. That's what probably took some of the time today too.
Right. Yeah. But we do have, just so you know, we do have those costs for opening and closing, so are in the budget, so we'll be budgeting towards that. We do have the possibility of someone we know that could help us or do that for us, who's trained to do it, so we'll have to talk about that at our meeting.
Well, while we're on recreation, the mayor sent a proposal. They would like to see one of their part-time people take care of the ice rink and us pay half of their salary.
The mayor sent that?
Yeah,
Why?
I don't know.
Well, just hang on to it. We have a shared services committee meeting coming up in next week, I think it is, Wednesday. So, that's where that belongs.
Yeah,
And we can
kinda, I
discuss
think it
it.
was on with his, email to Elsa about the,
Yes, it was.
voting machine.
I sent him a copy of last month's minutes in which Matt had stated that, Matt, you had stated you had an ad available that you were gonna be doing.
Yeah,
And also the fact that you wish to raise the price for the individual from 1,000 to 1,500.
right.
Well, the problem with the mayor is we have the shared services committee, and the way that we communicate between the village and the town is through shared services. So, and he knows that if he has a proposal for something of that nature, it should be going to his committee members, who are Chris Maney and Barb Jones, and they'll bring it to that committee and we'll discuss it. That's how that's done. So that's what we'll do when we meet.
Can I add one thing about playground?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure,
Pat.
go ahead.
Because we always have to remember in PAC that we need to also continually address playground, and we get so focused on the pool. But there's a lot of uneven ground, and Janet's very versed and been spending a lot of time there. We're just gonna do a quick survey before our next PAC meeting, more for the unevenness of the ground, something we can deal with right away so that we don't have a hazard. So we're talking a little bit more.
That was what the Mowers had discussed with you when they first started mowing again. Whoever did the pool did a lousy job re-leveling all the land down there. That's what the Mowers had complained about.
It's because of the landfill.
I don't know, but whoever did your excavating down there for your pool, they complained.
But
the Mowers
you're
had
talking
complained.
about in the playground area.
Yeah.
Yes,
And that was no excavation done in the playground area.
there's a lot of holes. We've had that complaint from a lot of
Right,
residents.
that's what we're talking about,
Yeah,
is the
those are-
playground area,
yeah.
that's what she's talking about. But that had nothing to do with building the pool.
And we've got to include mulch in the budget too,
Yeah.
so there's,
Tarp this time, please. You're gonna do mulch, you can.
I got a shovel with your name on it.
I don't think so. You don't pay me enough. Okay.
Sure we do. All right, personnel.
We just have the sexual harassment training going on right now.
With the clarifications made today, that if you have done it elsewhere, as long as you have a certificate, it just needs to be put on file.
Just
And
email
it's-
me that so I can
and it's
email
in
it
the
to
date.
everyone.
And it has to be for this calendar year as it is the annual competency or training.
And you'll email me that so I have that in writing for everybody else.
Other than that, I don't have anything else right now, right? Okay.
There's some issues with sighting was loose. If we found anybody to come and make sure,
Probably the same guy that works on the courtroom.
okay.
We find somebody that's available, I think we ought to grab on to
Yeah,
him
if
for,
he's available and we
multitude of
can get him to do more
projects.
stuff, all the better.
Do it before he goes to Florida.
Yeah,
Well, he's got a couple boys that work for him too.
no, I hadn't even thought about him. Haven't seen him maybe in a while. IT,
So the website should be nearing completion. And it should be more next month, but
Thanks,
we're in
babe.
the final stages. Excuse me, we're in the final stages for the website being able to go live.
okay. Code enforcement, Billy.
Well, September was a busy month, 5 permits issued. We traveled about 208 miles and, made 16 different inspections. Obviously, the job down at Clark's is still going on, don't know. I think the project at the golf course is wrapped up now.
That's what I heard, yeah. We spent a lot of money down there. But yeah, I think that's done, from what I was told.
That's a good question.
I just have one question on fire inspections. Are we not doing fire inspections in the town?
We do them, but we usually do it in the winter,
Okay.
when things are slow.
Cause I noticed that's been zero for quite some time.
He's definitely doing them, he did the lumberyard earlier this year.
We've usually done that at tail end of the year, beginning of the year, when permits are basically not being issued. So, we should see that. Those numbers are kind of flip-flop.
Mhm.
The inspections and stuff, the permits issued, will kind of switch into fire inspections. Is there a motion to accept the codes report?
So, sorry.
Second.
Second by Billy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Justice Court report.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carried. Clerk's monthly report.
Motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Supervisor's report for September. Any questions? Motion to approve. Motion by Matt. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Billy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
While we're on that financial report, have you seen the money from the village?
Yes, we
Okay.
just got the check from the village one yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yep.
Very good,
So Maggie has the check, so,
good.
which kind of will help out with one of the next items coming up here,
Mhm.
so pay the bills. County report, it's pretty quiet in the county at this point.
It is. Okay.
I think everybody's lost interest in the hearing, so, I don't know. All I know is we've only got a couple pre-filed resolutions tomorrow, and Jeannie Darling's doing her Cornell Cooperative Extension annual
Report.
report. which you need a pretty short meeting otherwise, because it's usually a pretty long presentation. But the last unofficial information we got on the DPW was Courtright is willing to sell a piece of land out behind their building for a satellite snow plowing garage. And they're looking at doing something for the maintenance garage smaller and keeping it on Page Avenue. So I ruffled a couple feathers by saying somebody had mentioned your farm, which they had. They didn't realize I read their minutes apparently, so. But, I don't know, hopefully we get that thing taken care of here sometime soon. We have a presentation by CNS on the mental health. That's moving along quite well, so hopefully we will be ready to go out and bid this late fall, early winter. Other than that, any other questions that I can answer, or questions I can answer?
What's next on the calendar for these hearings? I mean, I'm surprised that it's quiet, because it's in the news and people are talking.
Yeah, hearings resumed today and tomorrow. Then they skip next week, and they're the 21st, the 22nd, and the 25th, I believe. And then hopefully we'll be done, and the hearing officer will do his duty, and we'll see where we go from there.
Something that was asked of me was, have there been charges made?
Yeah,
Charges were made, unfortunately because of personnel issues, everything is confidential unless the employee chooses, and she chose to have the public welcome at the hearings, which was her option. But it's also her option to have the charges released. And because she hasn't done it, the hearing officer in the county can't. So,
well, if you were at the hearing, which I was, the first hearing, they named them right out,
Yeah.
7 of them.
yeah,
what they
it's- If you
And
were awake, you heard what the.
Basically, they're, whatever, my opinion, but, yeah, there they are. What it is.
It is what it is. Motion to pay the bills. We got lots of them this
I
month.
make a motion, somebody again, whatever.
Motion by Matt,
Second?
second by Al. All in favor?
Aye.
Do we need an executive session or not?
I think we should. Just to see where we're at, my opinion.
Okay. Potential litigation, I don't have any more information on, so you're talking about an employment history of a particular individual.
Yeah.
You wanna make that motion, so under
So-
executive session?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Who seconded that?
Matt.
You two always on the right.
All in favor?
Aye.
And who do you want to stay out?
Darren?
We gonna take any action, or?
No.
No, no action, so I'll give you the rest of